I hope Paddy is gonna lose because if Paddy wins, it's gonna be a problem for me again.
Why do you think so?
I think he's gonna try and avoid me.
You say if he wins against Justin or if he wins against Ilya?
No, against Justin. Against Ilya, he never can beat Ilya.
Okay.
Yeah, he wants me to get hurt because I'm not gonna fight him. I'm a nightmare for him, and he knows that if we're gonna fight, he's gonna lose.
This fighter has been stirring up headlines lately, and even though he's not actively competing in the octagon right now, he's still causing major ripples throughout his weight class. Arman is sending a direct message, suggesting that everyone else is running from a potential matchup. He's painting himself as the guy without anyone willing to step up, so he's staying busy and making money while he waits for the opportunity he believes he's earned. His recent comments reveal his frustration as he positions himself as the threat nobody wants to face. Everyone's ducking me, so I'm gonna keep moving around collecting these paydays from side missions. Tsarukyan revealed he's pulling for Justin Gaethje to beat Paddy Pimblett. He explained that if Justin wins, it sets up exactly the fight he wants, while Paddy would likely find ways to dodge it. Tsarukyan sees Gaethje as a real fighter who welcomes tough matchups, which would make their potential clash actually happen.
I need to get hurt because I'm not gonna fight him. I'm a nightmare for him, and he knows that if we're gonna fight, he's gonna lose, and he's gonna try not to fight me on his whole life. And I hope Justin Gaethje gonna knock him out and send him back to England, and he can eat his I don't know what he's eating there, chicken or whatever.
Justin Gaethje makes it crystal clear that winning the belt would just be the beginning for him. He's saying that becoming champion would open doors to settle old scores rather than make him complacent, with his previous loss still fueling his fire.
Because once I get this belt, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to beat Ilya. I'm going to beat Paddy. I'm going to beat Ilya. And then I got to get Max back. Have to. So I need him to win. I need him to beat Charles. Yeah, right. Actually, I guess who doesn't matter. They both beat me, so I want either one of those back. Yeah. Those are the only two guys that I have the opportunity to get back right now. So that's what I'm shooting.
Justin Gaethje wants that rematch with Max Holloway, and he's hoping Holloway can get past Charles Oliveira. He also wants to see Ilia Topuria step up and wait his turn, which would clear the path for him to face Holloway for the title.
Max Holloway for the BMF belt, a belt that you've held before. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. I hope Max wins. I hope Ilya goes up, and then I can fight Max on the White House card and take the BMF belt and the championship.
Oh, there you go.
Tsarukyan has his eyes set on whoever wins between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway for that BMF championship. If Ilia Topuria doesn't fight again until summer, he's noting that Ilia only competes once per year, and he's not willing to sit around seeing the BMF title as a perfect opportunity to capitalize on in the meantime.
Is what if Ilya comes back in the summertime, right? And now you've got an interim champion, and usually the interim champion will fight the actual champion. Maybe. You're neither of those. That means we're talking about another fight happening, and you're not fighting for the belt, and now we're talking about the back end of the year.
Yeah, but maybe BMF title.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You don't want that, right? You want the real title.
Yeah, I want the real title, but I don't want to wait until the end of the next year. And then Ilya, he fights once a year. Maybe he defend his title in June and then say, okay, I'll fight next year in June. And then what I can do? Just stay. And I'm not that young to wait a lot too. So if they give me BMF title, it would be great too. If Charles Oliveira wins, so it's gonna be good. We got the story, and just get that belt and then the real belt.
He showed zero regret about the decision he made in those final moments against Max Holloway. Knowing the fight was slipping away from him, he decided to bet on himself instead of just trying to survive until the final bell. He argued that most fighters would avoid that kind of risk, but embracing chaos has always been part of who he is. And if another fight ever comes down to a similar critical moment, he said his approach wouldn't change.
When I was going to lose to Max, who makes the choice there to go to sleep or knock him out, you know? Right. I knew I was losing, and I knew that was my only chance. And most people, you know, rightly so, would not take that chance. But that's who I am, and that's, if I get that chance, if I'm in that position again, I would do the same exact thing.
Paddy Pimblett believes Max Holloway has already shown the blueprint for beating Justin Gaethje on the feet. He's confident about standing and trading with him, using Max's performance as his roadmap, and expects his own game plan will get him a finish within 3 rounds.
That he wants to keep this on the feet. We know his knockout power, but your submission skills are so slick. You want to take it to the ground? Oh, okay.
I'll keep it on the feet with him. Like, there's the blueprint there to beat him. Max done it, and I everyone underestimates my strike, and everyone thinks I'm just going to come in and I'm going to take him down, and I'm not. Like, he had an absolute war with Chandler, and I Chandler up. So I know MMA math doesn't work, but you'll see come Jan 24 when we have a perfect game plan and we finish him within 3.
But Justin Gaethje acknowledges he's approaching the end of his fighting journey. He describes combat sports as an addiction, providing highs and lows, unlike anything else. A rush so intense, it makes everything else in life feel different. Instead of running from that truth, he says he's embracing it, feeling more alive and driven than ever before. While he emphasizes he's not done yet, Gaethje admits he can see the finish line approaching, and that awareness has made him appreciate every moment he has left in this game.
Every single one of these is a traumatic life experience, and it's there's no matching the high or the low of winning or losing this sport. And it kind of ruined other parts of life, but no, I am so hungry, and I've never felt more alive than when I feel in there. I will miss it when it's gone, and I think I truly love it more than most.
Are you allowing yourself to think about that yet? When you said when it's gone, you're not anywhere near that yet, are you?
No. But it's not the beginning. I'm 37 years old. There's no, I'd be a fool to think that we're just getting started here. The end is near.
Justin also stated that if he gets knocked out again, he'd probably walk away from fighting. He explained that getting knocked unconscious for the first time forced him to reassess where he stands in his career, noting this isn't the beginning anymore, but the final chapter. Gaethje stressed the importance of protecting his health, trusting his team and family to put his well-being first, and knowing when to step away instead of letting the sport take more than it gives. How many wars do you have left in you? What's that number today?
One more knockout. I went to sleep. Before that, I'd never been put to sleep. If I would get put to sleep again, I would definitely call it quits.
Really? So you're drawing a line?
That's been my line. Yeah, it never happened. So it wasn't like if I get knocked out, I'm quitting. But once I got knocked out, 37 years old. If I was 20, 27, 30, this would be a different story. But this is not the beginning. This is definitely the end of my career. And it's been such an amazing thing. And obviously, they'll use and abuse you in this sport, and you have to protect yourself. And I obviously have created a team. I got my family and my coaches, and they all have my best interests in at hand. And I've always told them that I'm in it till they say I don't have it no more. Or whenever I feel like my younger self, the hunger of my younger self can beat the skills that I have now, then it would be done.
Paddy Pimblett hinted he's already thinking about Ilia Toporia's comeback, even though he's completely locked in on Justin Gaethje for UFC 384. He made it clear there won't be any easy fights when Topuria comes back, planning to meet him head-on and send a message. For Pimblett, the game plan is straightforward. Take care of Gaethje first, then shift focus to Topuria.
I wasn't too surprised. I know Ilia's going through a lot of stuff and wish him nothing but the best with it, know what I mean? That's nothing to do with us fighting, it's nothing to do with being in the cage, so all that around his family life, I hope everything goes perfect for him, but when he does finally come back and get in the cage, I'm going to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ, and that's the way I see it.
So that interim belt to you will feel undisputed?
Yeah.
1 million. Paddy Pimblett took a shot at Ilia Toporia's frame, suggesting his own size gives him a significant advantage. He noted that Ilia is shorter and thinner, emphasizing that weight divisions exist for good reasons. Pimblett warned that if Topuria jumps up to 155, he might be walking into serious danger.
Well, essentially, he wants you to win. He wants that fight. Have you allowed yourself to think of what a fight with Ilia looks like?
Yeah, I think I beat him up as well, know what I mean? Like, he's very small compared to me, know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight. So, like, there's weight classes for a reason. And if he wants to fight me at 155, it'll get seriously messy on his face.
Justin Gaethje emphasized that his full focus remains on Paddy Pimblett. He described approaching this fight with a complete war mindset, zero distractions, and no thoughts about anyone else. While his concentration stays locked in,
Says Scousers don't get knocked out. What do you say to that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Have you allowed
I will try to test that theory.
Have you allowed yourself to think ahead to once you win, if you get the win, Ilya? No thought.
Nope, I've said it before. I don't ever plan on being alive after the fight. So if that's how it ends, that's how it ends.
Pimblett shows complete confidence about a potential fight with Justin Gaethje, suggesting he doesn't think it'll reach the scorecards. He calls Gaethje dangerous, but flawed, and positions himself as the guy who can capitalize on that, hinting the fight ends with him getting a clear finish instead of going the distance.
I think I finish him wherever the fight goes, to be honest. Obviously, I know we can bang, but every fight we get a breakdown made of our opponent, and it actually shocks me how much he gets hit. And I know he takes one to give one, but you can't really just do that at this level. That's why he's lost to people like Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Charles, because you can't just take one to give one. And I'm not going to just be standing there to let him hit me back. You know what I mean? So, be using me range, keeping him on the outside, and I've got a feeling I'm going to knock him out, to be honest. I don't know what it is. I've just got a sneaky suspicion I'm going to knock him out. You know, I've been doing a lot of rounds with Luke Riley for this camp, and Luke's got much better technical striking than Justin Gaethje. And I'm having a lot of success sparring with Luke, and obviously one of my coaches, Ellis, who used to fight himself, he's the exact same build as Justin. He's 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. And I've been doing rounds with him. He's literally, because he doesn't fight anymore, lad, and he's just a coach, he's just done Justin's style for me. He hasn't got his own style. He's been doing Justin for me, and just the bits what we're working, I can see me knocking him out or dropping him and then submitting him. People are going on about his takedown defense, but if I want to take him down, I will take him down, lad. Simple as.
Pimblett has fully embraced his unconventional style, pretty awkward and kind of weird. He talked about how his striking and grappling don't follow traditional patterns, making him impossible to replicate in training. Paddy claims no sparring partner can properly mimic his approach, leaving his opponents confused and giving him a competitive advantage inside the cage.
No, Justin Gaethje has good wrestling. He uses it very well defensively. Can you foresee him maybe being able to stuff your takedowns?
No. I don't wrestle like a normal person. I don't shoot double legs and single legs and wrestle like a normal person does. I do everything differently. I'm not normal. So he's not gonna be able to get a sparring partner in what grapples like me or strikes like me, because I'm a weirdo.
Fair enough.
It's the way it is, but
He did call your style awkward, actually.
I'm honest, Val, and I'm very awkward. You can't really get a sparring partner in to do me because I'm so awkward. So I'm looking forward to fighting him. As I say, he's a legend. He's someone I've always loved watching. So to get the chance to actually get in the cage and fight with him is unbelievable. I can't wait, and to have Justin Gaethje on my resume is going to be something that'll last forever. You know what I mean? It'll be part of my legacy, and I'm looking forward to it. I just hope he doesn't retire once he's...
Meanwhile, Daniel Cormier has finally fired back at Jon Jones's recent comments. Not too long ago, Jon Jones went off on Daniel Cormier, claiming he's tried multiple times to move forward from their history. He suggested that regardless of what he does, the bad blood continues, making him believe that Cormier wants to keep their feud going. Jon says their old competition became personal beef that DC refuses to let go.
He's against Daniel Cormier. What a stuffy. Cormier really is. I think if you really get to know Daniel Cormier, he's really not. He's an asshole. He is an asshole. I mean, he didn't really connect with any of the fighters here. He's just an asshole. I tried to make peace with him many times, and he made it very clear that he wants to be enemies for the rest of his life because how lucrative it is.
But you guys having fun here.
There was moments where we got to laugh, but for the most part, he's a dickhead. You look at the way that he treats his staff members. He brought like 10 yes men out with him and literally, go get me my water. Where's my this? Why is that this? He just bosses guys around. And the times we weren't filming, he wasn't very sociable with the people on set. He's just a dickhead. I think people that really work with him will know that.
Jones looked back on his time around Daniel Cormier, describing it as uncomfortable behind the scenes. He mentioned that any calm moments were overshadowed by tension. Since Cormier stuck with his crew and acted in ways that created conflict, Jones suggested their shared experiences only reinforced their existing problems, keeping his opinion of Cormier basically unchanged. I'm not staying here.
There was moments where we got to laugh, but for the most part, he's a dickhead. You look at the way that he treats his staff members. He brought like 10 yes men out with him and literally, go get me my water. Where's my this? Why is that this? He just bosses guys around. And the times we weren't filming, he wasn't very sociable with the people on set. He's just a dickhead. I think people that really work with him knows that.
Cormier addressed Jon Jones's latest shots. Looking back on their complicated past, he acknowledged they'd been around each other plenty and even had some friendly moments, but made it clear he wouldn't voluntarily hang out with Jones. Cormier admitted their history was ugly with insults and betrayal, and stated that while his emotions aren't as intense as before, he's not forgiving Jones or seeking any friendship.
So, not willing to make peace, didn't connect with the fighters. There was like 4 shots in 30 seconds there.
Did you, have you worked with me?
Yes, I have.
For how long?
I worked, friends, covered you.
How long am I all those things?
No, that's why I thought it was very interesting to hear from him.
So then just trust Jon Jones. Maybe I'm all those things to him. Like, here's the deal. We were around each other every single day. And we were cordial. We had times where Jon and I actually laughed at stuff. Like, we laughed together at stuff. But if I didn't have to be around him, I'm not going to voluntarily be around him. Why would I want that? Look, man, I don't harbor the emotion of the past that I did with him. I really don't. But we spoke negatively about each other's families. We had a nasty thing. Like, he cheated constantly. Like, I don't have to let him off the hook and be his friend.
Daniel Cormier also confirmed he'd be interested in a wrestling match with Jon Jones, though he acknowledges making it happen would be complicated. He explained that setting up such an event would be expensive and logistically challenging, and he questions whether Jones would even agree to wrestle. Still, Cormier leaves the door open, calling it an important match fans want to see, even if it remains unrealistic.
Do you compete against him in something this year? This seems to be the hot button issue right now. People want to see you in the RAF promotion or in some sort of competition. What are the chances?
I don't know, man. I don't know if it'll happen. Listen, to make me and him do anything costs so much money. There's very few people that can actually make it happen. So I don't know if it happens. And, the whole wrestling thing, that's cool, man. It's all cool to make pipe dreams, but I don't know that he's willing to allow me to embarrass him on a wrestling mat.
Cormier was direct about a potential fight with Jon Jones. He said flat out he doesn't want to fight anymore, joking about his age and gray hair, but he's completely confident in a wrestling match. Cormier declared that if they wrestled, it wouldn't be close, claiming his Olympic background would result in an easy 10-0 victory. Want to wrestle? Then you...
Yeah, I'll go wrestle Jon Jones.
What if Jon Jones wants to fight?
He don't even have to make a video to ask me to wrestle.
Yeah. What if Jon Jones wants to fight?
I'm not fighting, man.
You don't?
No. I'm not fighting. Look at my face, dude. Look at all this gray.
Hey, you look great. I like the beard.
Hey, I'm not fighting. I would box him, but I'm not fighting.
You would box Jon? I would love to see it.
Why not?
Really?
Yeah. I'd box him his face up.
Wow.
I'm older, bro. Hey, bro, I prefer to actually just not do any of that stuff, honestly.
Okay.
I'm old, man. I'm a commentator. I'm chilling. Yeah. Wrestling match, probably. Wrestling match would be preferable.
How does it go?
Wrestling?
Yeah.
10-0.
10-0. Easy.
Bro, I am an Olympian.
2-time.
We're going to get in a wrestling stance and wrestle with shoes on? 10-0.
However, Mersman warned against sleeping on Jon Jones, saying his ability speaks for itself despite not having a Division I wrestling background. He explained that when Jones chooses to wrestle, he controls the tempo and can trouble even elite-level opponents. His man emphasized that a match against Daniel Cormier would be far from easy, pointing to Jones as a serious threat on the mat, not a guaranteed loss.
This does happen. What you thinking, Henry? Because I don't think it's what people are, general consensus is thinking. I don't think that's how this goes down.
What do you mean, like as in?
What you thinking? How you thinking?
No, you're telling me you got Jon Jones?
I'm not telling you anything. All I'm saying is that's the general consensus, and I'm telling you right now, it's not that simple. Because Jon Jones never went to the Division One and had the accolades and all of that. People sleep on just how talented John Jones. I believe John Jones could have been a multiple-time Division One champion. I believe that. John Jones was that good at wrestling. That good. And I've watched John Jones decide, I'm going to wrestle. And when he decided to wrestle, he made people look bad. To where listen, I'm telling you, this man is just freak athletic talent and the whole family. You know, John and Arthur, both state champion, New York state champions. You know, I know that's not saying a lot because that's high school and DC definitely has the international, you know, accolades. But listen, they fought. And yes, I understand that's just fighting. That's MMA. But when it came down to that wrestling exchange, John is no slouch. This ain't going to be just that easy.
Daniel Cormier raises questions about John Jones's approach as a head coach. He suggests that John has changed over the years and implies that his ego might be getting in the way. Cormier points out that for a truly great coach, the team has to come first. But he thinks Jones still has the mindset of an active fighter instead of someone developing others.
Spending all the time with John in Thailand, he's different today than he was back then. He's not that same person that he was back when him and I were going through all of our stuff. I just know. You know what Khabib is? You know what Khabib is and why he's such a great coach? Khabib is the most selfless person you've ever met. Dude, he can put his athletes above himself, in front of him, in everything that he does. And in order to be a great coach, you cannot have an ego. You have to become secondary to everyone that you coach. And John is he's still on the roster. He's an active fighter. And I don't know if he can be as giving and selfless to make Gable the true star of the show.
So that wraps up today's breakdown. Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all the latest UFC news and developments.